Yo, what's good people? Today we're going to be looking at Fahkumram's just frames. Now you do actually need to learn the timing for these just frames because it does actually provide a damage buff, a damage increase. So if you do the moves without the just frames, they're going to do less damage. So the just frames reward execution is a really good thing because I know there are a lot of characters that have just frames or blue sparks that aren't necessarily that difficult, but they serve no purpose to the damage. So the fact that Fahkumram has actual execution is really sick. I am going to show you how to do this on Leverless, pad and arcade stick. Okay, the first just frame comes from down forward 3. So you can actually press down forward 3, 4 like this. This is the just frame. So we're actually going to look at the move in the move list. So here you can see a series of attacks in brackets. Now this means a slide input. So you have to press the inputs one after the other. So you have to press down forward 3, 4 like a slide input. And I'm going to show you on the big screen what this actually looks like. So here we have the move normally. So I'm going to do it without the just frame. So it's down forward 3, 4. So the input normally with no just frame would look like this. So down forward 3, 4. As you can see, I'm kind of sliding the input like this, pianoing the input. So if you're on Leverless or arcade stick, it's going to look like a piano like this, right? But now we just have to add down forward. Now it's a little bit of a tricky input because you can actually get down forward 3 plus 4 or down forward 3 by itself as miss input. So it is actually a precise input, but this is the input without the just frame. Down forward 3 tilde 4, which is a slide motion like this, right? So now we're going to do the just frame. The just frame is a little bit more tricky because it's a quicker input, and obviously you can get miss inputs like down forward 3 plus 4, down forward 3 by itself. But all we're going to do is kind of speed up that piano. Now the piano needs to be very quick. Now that's why you can get miss inputs, because if you try to obviously rush the input, you can get stuff like that. You can get down forward 3 plus 4. So we are going to do the just frame like this, blue spark, right? So you can see it's a very quick input. Now for me, all I would say is for arcade stick players and Leverless players, try and exaggerate the input. So like really exaggerate the piano to get it as quick as possible, like this. So now we're going to add down forward. So it's not as difficult as people think it is. It's just the input does need to be precise. Now the one tip that I will give you is the piano needs to be quite quick. And the way that I do that on arcade stick and Leverless is just to exaggerate the input. Just make it really exaggerate the input like this. The obvious issue is putting down forward in front of this kind of exaggerated piano input, which can be difficult because you need to press 2 buttons at once on Leverless. But it's not as difficult as it seems, right? And you might be asking, well, why would you actually do this just frame? Now I'm going to switch to the big game screen once again. So the normal version does 20 damage, as you can see there. 20 damage. And the just frame version does 26 damage. So that's actually quite a significant increase in damage, especially in combos when scaling gets involved. You really do want to go for this just frame. So as you can see, the normal version does 20 damage and the just frame version does 26, right? So that's the normal version. Just frame is 26. So now we switch to controller and the input looks the same. So the piano is a slide motion now. So you slide with your thumb like this. And the just frame depends on how quickly you slide. So if you don't slide quickly, you will get the normal version. And if you slide very quickly, you'll get the just frame, right? So the slide just has to be very quick on pad. And to be honest, I find it way easier on pad because I can just slide very quickly. Whereas if I'm pressing buttons, it's difficult to do so with 2 inputs. Whereas this one's just one motion, one piano motion. So on pad, honestly, it's just a slide. So I would say slide with the kind of just slide with your thumb, and obviously depending on how quickly you do it, it determines whether you will get the just frame or not. So again, pretty easy on pad for me, but then you need to obviously press down forward. So it's just down forward and then 3 tilde 4. The just frame version looks like this. So it's literally just a very quick piano input like this with your thumb, slide motion. Very easy on pad in my opinion. Okay, last but not least, we have arcade stick. And again, the principle is the same as Leverless. Really, you just kind of have to exaggerate the piano. So this is the normal version. And if we speed up the piano, you will get the just frame version. So again, it's just about exaggerating that piano. So regular input, as you can see, just frame input. So all I'm doing is speeding up that piano and really exaggerating the input, because I feel like when you really exaggerate, you can get it very quickly. Another tip that I would give is for some launchers, you can actually hold down forward and then piano. You see how I held down forward a little bit and then pianoed? That can kind of alleviate the kind of issue of pressing down forward +3 at the same time. So if you hold down forward and then piano, that can work as well. It's just personal preference. To me, I don't like to hold it because it just throws off my timing, but it does work from other launchers like Jet Kick, for example. You can still do, you know, you can hold it and then it's kind of like a buffering down forward. You see how I held down forward? So it still works from different launchers, right? You can still do that. So again, Fahkumram has another just frame. So I'm going to put the big screen on so you can actually see my inputs, but Fahkumram has another just frame from 344. So I'm going to do the normal version. So that's the move that we're talking about here. Now this is important to just frame because again, it does more damage. So the kick itself, the homing kick does 20 damage, right? The just frame version does 24 damage. Again, this is going to be significant regarding scaling and combos. You want to be hitting these just frames. Same with forward 324. So you can actually do the same homing kick from forward 324. So you press forward 3-2-4-4. So you need to press 4 again, just as the knee is about to connect, right? And it's the same with forward 3-2-4. So that's the normal version, just frame version, just frame. So here we have the regular version, just no input, just mashing it, right? And now I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to just delay the 4 ever so slightly. Just frame, just frame. So again, looks difficult, but it's really not if you get the timing down. I guess the tip that I would give you is kind of, it's a visual cue and it's literally just as the knee from 3-4 or forward 3-2-4 is about to hit, right? So it's just before the knee actually connects. See? So that's how to do Fahkumram's just frames. And again, let's show you a combo that actually needs this just frame. So if I do down forward 2-3, so again, regular version does 38 damage after the launcher. The just frame version does 40, right? So if you have multiple of these in a combo, it's really gonna add up. So I suggest learning these and kind of getting to grips with the timing of these just frames. And to be honest, I'm glad that Fahkumram does have some harder execution stuff because he can get some huge damage. But again, I think these just frames are actually well designed. I think they do reward execution and time in the lab. But yeah, if you have any questions, just shoot them in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.